Hi guys, welcome to the UX course. Now we are at module 4, chapter 5. That is where we are going to learn color theory, accessible colors, colors which are hue, which does not constrain a lot on your eyes. We are going to learn more about accessible color in module 5. But we are going to learn color basic here and how to include them in design. We already did some part of it wherein we included the colors in variables, but we are going to expand on that and we are going to make it better. Let's do a quick recap of what we learned in the last chapter. So in last chapter we learned about module 4.4. We learned about consistency and atomic design, wherein how atomic design and system design and also library can help you bring everything into a good consistent design. So if you see here, there is a principle of atomic design wherein a label, an input, a button, color swatch, typography style, all have to be maintained, and when they are maintained, they form a very good UI, and that always looks better. So now let's go and deep dive into colors. Now, in previous chapters, we built only three colors. Now we're going to expand on them and make some nice color inputs and variables. All right. So let's go ahead and see what else we have. So let's first understand colors from two different perspectives. RGB. Okay, let me see what is happening here. Let's make it big so it is readable. Okay, and CMYK. What is RGB? RGB is basically, let me get a shape here. Is combination of three colors: red, green, and blue. Let's bring them into auto layout so they are not, they are perfectly aligned. RGB. And now let's create CMYK. Cyan, magenta, yellow, black. Okay, all right. So let's combine them into auto layout as well. CMYK. Now you have two. Now it looks perfect. CMYK. All right. Okay. We need to put them in some kind of frame so that's more visible. Let's change the text color 222 and 222 color concept. All right. So these two are different color formats which you can see in all the design parameters. RGB is used for all the digital product like mobile app, mobile application, web application, or any sort of application which you see on a device, on a screen. CMYK is used for print, which is magenta, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. You could mix those colors in RGB as well, but if you have two modes, these two modes are used in different medias and different formats. CMYK is okay. Now let's go. We don't need to define CMYK here. We are mostly going to work in RGB. So let's define how RGB works. Okay. So there is one particular. Let me just duplicate it so I can. This can help me define it better. Let's delete CMYK. Okay. So if you see these colors in technology they are made of hexacode. Hexacode. What is hexacode? Hexacode is a 6-digit code which are applied in code or in any technology, and that starts with 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 and 0. That is for black. And the other one, which is white. So these two start from 0 and goes to F, F, F. So before F there is E, D, C, A, and then below A goes to 9 towards 0. And if you see, there are six codes in these colors, and if you analyze them, red is basically. Let's go and duplicate this as well. Okay, so let's delete these. Red, green, blue. Red is made out of FF, and red, sorry, I have to write it down here so it is easily visible. FF 0000. Let's delete these and let's duplicate that. And this is made out of 00 FF, and two zeros are gone, and this is made out of last two FF. And if you see, same thing if we apply here, 00 FF, then 00, it becomes green, blue, and if we apply here, this becomes blue. and you can create n number of colors with these colors. So this is the color concept we get from red, green and blue, and now we can create different colors from these colors as well. So if you go into creating colors for UI, there are different parameters. uh, let's go and learn that as well. First you have, okay, let's do it here only. Let's just start with brand, primary, and let's duplicate this, and let's put this in auto layout. Color names, color types. You can add n number of colors if you want. Let's say if you want 3 colors for the brand, you can have multiple colors within brand, but I would suggest you can start with just 2, which can help you create better color strategy. And then you have uh, bright, and you have dark. Bright, percents, percentages, percents, and then you know per bright colors, let's say color values, and then you have dark color values, and lastly you have colors. Those are called indicators. These 5 specific variants help you design the complete UI. Now let's go on each of them and create their different colors. Okay. Now let's convert this into auto layout, and let's call it brand P, and we'll use both brand P and secondary in the same format. Let's call them title. Now we need swatches. So these are basically called swatches. So let's imagine if I'm going to use a green, a hue color, which is less straining on the eyes. As a brand, a lot of brands have very bright colors or very subtle colors. So we can use subtle percentage of that specific brand. So let's use that. First, let's go ahead and give it some gaps, which can help us define properly. So let's bring in some swatches. So let's say if this is my brand color, which I'm going to use here, and let's convert this into, okay, and then I'm also going to use brand secondary, which is going to be less prominent. Swatches, we can make this less prominent, or we can make it darker. We can decide what to use, what not to use. That's on us. Now let's get these swatches into modes, different modes, and let's create it here. bright, and let's put the swatches there, and let's bring them to vertical alignment and left align. So you have to start using from bright goes from completely white to black, not completely black. You never use complete black, but you can use complete white, and then you can also use complete. You can also use off white. So if I'm trying to choose a complete white, I'll just have FF, 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 which will make it white, and then I'll use the percentage of it. So let's imagine, let's take a swatch outside, and let's see what will be the, if this is FF, 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 what will be the 50% of white. So we'll take 50% from here. What would be 50% white? This, or we can start with directly, we can reduce 25% each time. So if you reduce 25%, then it will be 75%. So let's use 75, and you can see, okay, the color has not changed yet. Why? You can use the color picker to select it. I change the color of swatch, and then you have to use, let's say, 50% of it. So let's say this is 70%. If you reduce 50%, how will it look? And remember, you have to do it on a black background. Which is, sorry, which has to be 222, or maybe 121212, which is not completely black. Okay, let's go for the third one, which is 25%. So how will 25% would look like? This will be 25%. And now let's go back to 10%. We don't directly go to 0, we go to 10%. So this is the black you can use for text and all your other parameters. And in dark mode, it just goes, it just horizontally shifts or gets flipped. So you can copy these swatches and put this in dark mode itself, dark mode, and you can put this here. Okay, we can do this. This looks better. Let's do this, and let's bring them into one space, and then the main brand color too. Okay, and let's have a complete fill container. Also swatches, styles. Okay, swatches can go to, okay, there is some problem I see, which is this should be fill container. Okay, and now we need to switch this. We can do a flip horizontal, so it can reverse, so it can go from dark to bright. Now let's go ahead and think about indicators. So indicators are generally made of base color, which you already have, and then you need to have color for error. So let's bring them here. Generally there are uh, uh, four type of indicative colors. So let's copy it here and let's bring it here. Indicators, and bring the swatches, and we need only four. For error, let's use so this needs to be filled completely. So we can do this fill. All right. So for error, we use subtle red, which is which is combination of, let's say, red and orange, and then we can go ahead and use for success, which is green. So we need to make this shuttle as well. So how to make colors shuttle? So if you go to HSB, you would be able to see that you can reduce the percentage of hue. Let's say it's 120, I can make it 100, and let's say 80. So this looks a little bit shuttle, and we can saturate it a little bit, and let's keep it 100. So you have to play with the saturation and hues as well. So okay, no, I made some mistake. So let's okay, now we'll do that again. So we want to use red. So first let's go ahead and create red, and then we'll make it subtle. So HSB, we will reduce the saturation to 70. Right. It's more subtle than normal. Let's use here as well the same formula. We'll use green, and then we'll make it shuttle, and we'll use 70 for it, and we can have it larger green, or let's say 80. Sometimes you have to play around 120. This can be 120 as well. 50. This is the dark and bright part of it. So let's keep it 80. That's too dark. Yeah, that looks better. Let's bring the red first, which is error, and then you need uh, warning colors, which is kind of orange. Let's use mix of orange and yellow, so we can directly pick it from here. This makes more sense. And then you need information, which is teal. So let's type teal and see what color we get. Okay, we got the subtle color. So we got four different kind of let's delete this. Now we don't need them because we got our color palette set. Now you have color types, which is brand, secondary and primary, and you have bright color values and dark color values, and also you have the indicators. Now let's take these and put this in our we will put this in our variable in next chapter, and see, this is how you can create the colors. Since you already learned how to create these variables, and you can use them into your variable section, which is here, and this can help you design better. Let's see what we are going to learn in the next chapter, and I'll have these color ready in the variable, and I'll create one short video maybe to how to create all these colors in different variables itself. So let's go ahead and see what we're going to learn next. So next is module 5, which is prototyping and animation, which is of 2 hours, and that is where we will learn clickable prototype in Figma, and creative interactive flow, smart animation, smart animate, which is part of Figma technology. We'll learn a little bit of micro interaction, engaging animation, and prototyping best practices, how to present your prototyping and take feedback and iteration. We will learn design token and responsive UI with 2-3 screens. We will get the web and mobile together, and we'll see how it works in terms of responsive design. So I hope to see you in the next class.